Good afternoon, gamers. I am excited because I have something new to share with you all, as well as some very awesome news connected with Encounter Role-Playing. They are a fantastic tabletop role-playing community, and I have some great stuff to share with you about them in just a moment. I'm also gonna relay some thoughts about our game last night, where I am DMing the weekly or nearly weekly game set in currently in the Princes of the Apocalypse setting. So all that and more in just a moment here, and I hope you are having a fantastic day. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Gregory, and this is 1 in 20 D&D. Today, this vlog is DnDaily number 96. We're getting awfully close to 100, and I'm excited to have you along for the ride on this daily vlog about Dungeons & Dragons and role-playing games in general. And I will share some fun stuff. I'm gonna plan something different maybe for number 100, which will come up here in just a few days. So stay tuned for that, and remember to subscribe and hit the bell so you get the notifications and know when the new videos go live. So today I've got something fun and exciting to talk about. I hope you're familiar with them already, and if not, that's okay. Let me introduce you to Encounter RP, also known as Encounter Role-Playing. This is a fantastic D&D and TTRPG community. They are streamers, they have a bunch of videos. In fact, they are streaming pretty much every day of the week. You can see here, this is what their weekly schedule looks like. Now, what I want to share with you first and foremost is, hey, just go check them out. They might have some great content that you love and would enjoy listening to or watching. The more important to me and more fun to me thing that I want to share with you is, you may have noticed on Monday they have a Learn to Play D&D game that they are ongoing, and they are playing in the setting Ravnica. Now, Ravnica is a crossover setting from Magic the Gathering, the card game, and I do not know very much about Ravnica. I've got the book and started reading through some of the background material because I was in the running for a position on the next season of this game on Encounter RP. I am not going to be a regular on there. However, the thing I'm excited about is I am in fact going to have a spot on a short story arc where I will get to play a very cool character that I have been talking about over the last day or two. This is the thing, one of the things, this is the most important thing that I have mentioned to you all in the last couple of days or so, in last week maybe, that I have been very excited about. I'm super stoked for those that will be on the full season 2 of the show, and I'm thrilled to be a part of that and have the opportunity to get to play with some of these amazing people. They are really awesome, and I can't wait. I'm super excited. That's going to be coming up in the next month or so. I will keep you informed about that and let you know the exact dates that I will be appearing as a guest player on the game. Yay! I'm so stoked about it. They're a great group of people. They're a great community. I hope you'll look into their content, and I hope you will be along for the ride with me as I go and venture forth into the world they are creating together. So that's cool. I can't wait for that to start. Now, another thing that I'm really going to share today that I'm pretty excited about is we got back to our game last week. We are off and on again. Sometimes life and such happens. The last week or two for me was a very strange bit of circumstances that I got to play in games that were totally unplanned and almost last minute, and the games that are supposedly planned all had to be canceled, at least temporarily, if not otherwise. So a little bit of a scramble over the last week or so. So getting to play in some new stuff was awesome, but getting back to our weekly game where I'm playing with some of my very good friends that was great too. Now, as I mentioned, they're playing in the, well, so I created a world, sort of more like a realm, stuck somewhere within Faerun. And I've adapted or molded the Princes of the Apocalypse into the game we're playing. So there are some threads that led them into this encounter with these elemental cults. And there are some threads that, once that has been resolved, will sort of lead them out into their own sort of story threads. Now, it's not entirely sandbox. That's not how I intended this game or the group to run. They do have, it is somewhat sandbox, and they're certainly not, I do everything I can not to railroad them. In fact, I think I've done a great job about not setting the course of their actions at all, just putting, I guess you could call them plot devices in front of them for them to explore. They have determined which direction they're going to go based on what they've been experiencing. And this is one of the cool things about big modules like the Princes of the Apocalypse. One thing I really like about this setting is that it really depends on how your players make decisions. That determines how the game plays out. Because essentially there are, let's say there's 4 cults, right? 4 different elemental cults. Hopefully that's not a spoiler for you. They are, depending on what the party decides, you could go through this adventure and deal with one all the way through, then go deal with another, then another, then another. Or you could maybe also deal with them sort of simultaneously and sort of weave your way through each one of these almost at the same time. So it's really fascinating when you run a game module like this, how things play out. The game I had been running on Tuesdays was also starting out in this game setting. That is currently on hold. There have been some babies that were born and some people are moving, and so things are in flux. I hope we're going to get back to that game. Not sure if we are, but I will keep you posted. That was fun, and they were taking a totally different course into this game adventure. And oddly, some of the beginning of it was starting out similarly, which is kind of cool. So there's going to be, I think if you find, as a DM, you might find if you run the same adventure more than one time, I'm sure you will find that there are similarities between the groups, but also big differences. I mean, every party is unique, right? And every party has a different, unique dynamic. So even if it was the same players running through the same adventure, as long as the characters are different, you're going to have a totally different game. So that's one of the things that's absolutely astounding to me about role-playing games. Every single one of them is unique. If there are 10,000 games being played in the Princes of the Apocalypse setting, that means there are literally 10,000 different games happening in the Princes of the Apocalypse setting. None of them are going to be the same. That is super cool. So, and that's the truth for everything. That's the truth whether you're talking about a class or a race or a game system or a game setting. Everybody brings their own uniqueness to the game, their own different version. So I encourage you to honor that, and for me, that's absolutely one of the best parts about playing role-playing games to begin with. Because as I've been saying, y'all, it's your game. Play your way. So thank you for joining me today. I'm Gregory. This is 1 in 20 D&D, and I will see you on the next D&Daily. Until then, keep rolling 20s.